Welcome to the session on Power BI. Today we're going to talk about what is Power BI. We're going to talk a bit about the ecosystem around how Power BI is made up, covering how you can then set your data sources up, how you can look at the gateway, how the gateway can then publish the data up to the cloud and then accessing that data. So we'll look at how the system as a general, we'll look at the traditional Power BI model, we'll look at creating a report, we'll look at also that data source being able to do an ad hoc analysis, and then looking at the Power BI report cycle. So a traditional cycle here of you have a developer, a report analyst that is writing reports within the business, they publish those reports, and it's a cycle about how they publish those reports up to the cloud, and then from there they're accessed by the users. We'll also talk around the other cycle of when it's an ad hoc analysis versus a pre-canned. So if you've got a developer that's creating a report, that's known as a pre-canned, whereas if you have a user that wants to consume data but doesn't want to use the pre-existing reports, they may wish to connect to a cube, for instance, and do a ad hoc analysis to find out what was sold on a Tuesday afternoon, or how are my sales doing for a particular item category. This is where they would connect Power BI to a data source and do an ad hoc analysis. We'll also look at how within Power BI Pro you can share reports. This is a feature that is often used within organizations as users and departments collaborate and share information. And we'll also go through a demonstration of Power BI in the particular areas that we've covered in the agenda. What is Power BI? Please take a moment to watch this video from Microsoft to understand a bit more about what Power BI is.
When it comes to data, the faster you can turn this into this, the faster you can understand and use it all to make your business run better. With Microsoft Power BI, you can quickly connect to data, prep it, model and visualize as much or as little as you like. Then securely share insights. Even embed it all into your app or website. To get started, download the free Power BI desktop application and hop right in. Soon you'll be connecting to hundreds of data sources on-premise or in the cloud, like Excel, Salesforce, Google Analytics, social networks, even IoT devices to get real-time information, and turning all that data into live interactive visuals. When you get the hang of that, upgrade to Pro. You'll need that to start collaborating freely, creating dashboards that deliver a 360-degree real-time view of your business, control how your data is accessed and used, and to package and deliver your stunning new content to users with apps of their own. The premium version is for really scaling up across larger enterprises and embedding content past your own digital properties without per-user licenses. And one more thing, want it all on mobile so you can react to changes on the fly? Here you go. With Power BI, we make it easy to always be in compliance too, for things like GDPR. Download the free Power BI application today and start turning your data into smarter decisions for your business.
The Power BI ecosystem is very much made up of, first of all, you have your data sources. So this may well be nav, this might be third-party systems. So in this example here, we've got QuickBooks, we've got nav, we've got Google Analytics, we've got a Twitter feed, we've got a Facebook social media platform that we want to integrate our data into Power BI. But before we can do that, what we're doing here is we are prepping this data and extracting it from the various data sources and loading this into a data warehouse. Now, this data warehouse will join the information together if it can. It will present this information and model it in a way that is ideal for reporting. So it may flatten the data out. It may also model it in a way that is going to be used more user-friendly in a platform such as Power BI when accessing the data. In some examples, you may also have data coming outside of the data warehouse, and then from here having pre-built models known as cubes, which may focus on certain areas such as finance, sales, warehousing, merchandising, e-commerce, etc. that are of a particular business area. This is ideal for organizations in which they want to separate the departments out, because each department will have their particular use in terms of the data that they wish to see. In this particular example, we are connecting the data and then writing our report to publish up in Power BI using the if it's on premise, you'd be using it at the Power BI gateway to publish the data accessible from the reports. Otherwise, the reports will be housed in the cloud. So if your data sources in the dashboard are cloud-based, a gateway isn't needed. If the data sources are on-prem, like Nav, for instance, or a file, like spreadsheets, and you're consuming data within that dashboard, you will need to configure and set up the Power BI gateway. Within Power BI, you can structure in folders known as workspaces. And here, using Power BI Pro, you can start to allocate users access to each individual folder or area, particularly, similar to a folder structure on a laptop or PC, in which you would organize into departments and allow users access. The users can then come along and access the reports that they have access to. Similarly, they can also, if they have a Power BI or even a personal account, can connect to the data source and write their own reports and then publish them up. The limitation here is if you have a free version, the particular user will only be able to publish to their personal workspace, whereas if you have a pro license, you have what's called shared workspaces, in which can be accessed by the different users that have access and also are granted access. The Power BI model is made up of 3 components. First phase, you've got the create. So here you will use the Power BI desktop app. It is also known as the free version, but not to get confused, if you have a pro license, you still need to use the desktop. The desktop version is where you will create the reports. It's effectively the report designer application. So here you will bring the data in, you will model the data, you will prep the data, and then once you have the report looking how you would like it, you can then publish that data and push that to the Power BI service, otherwise known as powerbi.com. To avoid any confusion, powerbi.com is also known as the service. So Power BI service is housed in the cloud and is a cloud-based analytics solution. When the report is published, and with a Power BI Pro account, you can then collaborate and share that information amongst users and departments. Here you'll be able to get more insight into the information, and with good communication around, you are able to collaborate and understand as a team a better understanding of your data. Because Power BI is a cloud-based analytics solution, you are able to access the data from anywhere. So from here, you can be in the office, or you can be out of the office using the Power BI apps that are available for Android, Apple, Microsoft, etc. on the app, and you can download these apps and then view the report/dashboard. You can view the dashboard or report on the mobile device. Just before we get into Power BI as such, there are 2 types of users. You have the report analyst or report developer. Now this particular user is traditionally a user that will develop and design the reports or dashboards. They will be technical in their knowledge, in knowing how to mold and manipulate the data sources that they have available to provide a data model, either in Power BI or use existing data models such as a data warehouse or cubes to then report against. You then have the consumer or departments which may leverage the information that has been made available to them. Now, a report consumer or a department within an organization will be end users that will be consuming the information that has been made available to them by the report developer or the IT team. They will not necessarily be as technical as a report analyst or the developer, but they will understand and know the requirement that they have from the business in order to satisfy their job role.